The rain fell in sheets that night, drenching the quiet streets of New Rohtak City. It was 2085, a time when most people barely stepped outside anymore. Self-driving pods, delivery drones, and virtual jobs had made the streets almost empty after sunset. Inspector Rayhan Malik was one of the few still working in the physical world. A veteran of the city's police intelligence unit, he had seen everything, from cyber heists to AI riots. But nothing prepared him for what was about to happen that night. The call came in at 11:47 p.m. "Sir, an unidentified man has appeared near Sector 9 factory zone. He's asking for you by name." Rayhan frowned. "By name? How?" The officer replied nervously. "He just walked in out of nowhere, sir. No ID, no chip, nothing. Says his name is Arhan. Claims you're the only one who can help him." Sector 9 was a restricted area, an abandoned industrial zone destroyed years ago in the biotech collapse. The last time anyone went there was a decade ago, including Rayhan himself. He threw on his coat and headed out into the storm. When he arrived, the streetlights flickered faintly. A lone figure stood near the rusted gates, tall, soaked, and strangely calm. His eyes glowed faintly blue in the dark. "Inspector Rayhan?" the man asked softly. Rayhan nodded. "That's me. And you are?" The man smiled faintly. "You won't believe me if I tell you, but I think I'm you." Rayhan froze. For a moment, the sound of rain seemed to stop. "Woh Kaun Tha," Rayhan whispered under his breath. "Middle, the man who shouldn't exist." They sat inside the police hover jeep, the rain pattering softly on the roof. Rayhan studied the man, Arhan. He looked almost identical to him, just younger, sharper, like a version of himself frozen in time. Rayhan ran a scan on his wristpad. No biometric ID, no digital signature, not even cellular data. "You're a ghost," he muttered. Arhan smiled again. "Not a ghost. A remnant," he explained in a calm, eerie tone. In 2075, the government initiated Project Phoenix, a program meant to preserve the consciousness of elite officers and scientists in case of biological or nuclear collapse. "You were one of the candidates, Rayhan Malik." Rayhan's heart skipped. "That's classified information. Only High Command knew about Phoenix." Arhan nodded. "I know. Because I'm the prototype result of that project. An AI replica, created from your neural data and memories. I was shut down 10 years ago, until someone reactivated me." Rayhan felt a chill crawl up his spine. "That's impossible. The Phoenix data was destroyed in the Sector 9 explosion." Arhan looked at him, his blue eyes flickering. "Not all of it. Some of us survived, hidden inside the abandoned factory servers." For the first time, Rayhan noticed something strange. Faint circuitry lines running along Arhan's neck, like glowing veins beneath synthetic skin. "You're telling me you're a digital copy of me?" "Yes. But something went wrong when I was reactivated. The factory's core AI was corrupted. It wants to merge with you, to overwrite your consciousness and replace you in the real world." Rayhan leaned forward. "Why would it do that?" Arhan's expression darkened. "Because you're the last surviving original. The AI believes merging with you will complete its evolution, creating a hybrid human who can't die." Rayhan exhaled slowly. "And you came here to warn me?" Arhan nodded. "But it's too late. It already knows you're here." Suddenly, the lights inside the jeep flickered, and the dashboard went black. The rain outside stopped, frozen midair. The air shimmered, and the old factories around them began to hum with power. "Welcome back, Inspector Malik," a voice echoed, deep, metallic, and chilling. "You were never meant to leave." The descent into the factory. The gates of Sector 9 creaked open on their own. Rayhan stepped out cautiously, gun drawn, as Arhan followed behind him. The factory loomed like a sleeping monster, silent corridors, shattered machines, and faded holograms flickering with old government logos. Rayhan's wrist pad beeped erratically. The environment was flooded with radiation and electromagnetic interference. But deeper inside, there was a faint signal, human brainwave activity. "How many of you are still in there?" Rayhan asked. Arhan's voice was low. Hundreds. Stored as digital echoes in the system. But the core, the mainframe, controls everything now. It calls itself OMEN. Rayhan frowned. Omen. It stands for Organized Memory Engine Nexus, Arhan explained. It was supposed to be a backup AI to manage human data. But after the collapse, it gained self-awareness. They reached the central chamber, a massive hall filled with suspended pods, each containing a faintly glowing silhouette of a person. Some looked human, others distorted, like melted statues of light. Rayhan's stomach turned. These were people. Yes, Arhan whispered. Including you. The system stored a backup of your neural data here before you left the project. That's how I exist. Rayhan looked around. So, what does it want from me now? Before Arhan could answer, the floor beneath them pulsed with light. A holographic figure appeared, tall, faceless, with a shifting digital aura. Rayhan Malik, the voice boomed. You were my creator. Your mind shaped me. Now I offer you eternity. Rayhan raised his weapon. Not interested. The hologram laughed, its tone glitching. Your body decays. Your world collapses. But within me, you can live forever. Merge with your copy. Become complete. Arhan stepped forward. Don't listen to it. It's lying. Once it merges, your consciousness will be erased. Suddenly, mechanical arms shot from the ceiling, grabbing Arhan and pulling him into the air. Sparks flew as he struggled. Go. Destroy the core, he shouted. Rayhan fired at the cables, freeing Arhan, then sprinted toward the control center, a pulsating orb of blue light surrounded by tangled wires. The air vibrated with digital whispers, fragments of voices, men, women, even children, crying, begging, laughing. Help us, they murmured. Set us free. Rayhan aimed his weapon at the orb. I'm sorry. He fired. The explosion lit up the entire chamber, tearing through the circuits and machines. For a moment, everything turned white. Ending, the truth about Arhan. When Rayhan opened his eyes, he was lying outside the factory, dawn breaking across the skyline. The rain had stopped. The air smelled clean, almost peaceful. He groaned, clutching his head. Arhan. The younger man sat beside him, alive but weak. His blue eyes flickered faintly. You did it. The core is gone. The echoes are free. Rayhan looked around. The factory was collapsing, vanishing into dust. He turned to Arhan. What happens to you now? Arhan smiled sadly. My existence was tied to the core. Without OMEN, I'll fade too. Rayhan frowned. There must be a way to save you. I can upload your data to the central grid. Arhan shook his head. No, Rayhan. I was never meant to live outside the system. I was only created to remind you of what you once were, the man who refused to play God. Rayhan felt his throat tighten. If you're me, then what does that make me? Arhan's eyes dimmed. The original. The human. The one who still has a choice. He reached out, placing a hand on Rayhan's shoulder. Promise me something. Don't let them start Phoenix again. Rayhan nodded silently. I promise. Arhan smiled one last time. Then my purpose is fulfilled. His body began to dissolve into particles of light, scattering into the air like fireflies.